What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Granny's PT, episode 130. For those who are counting.
Wow, 130. We have been doing this a while.
We really have. It doesn't feel like it, though.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
That means we're still fresh, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this Tuesday evening. We're excited to be here. Thanks for joining us. If you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, if you're joining us on YouTube or X or Instagram, or wherever you find the audio-only podcast, we always appreciate all the support. I am Ed, and with me as always is Jason. Jason, what's up, man?
Nothing much. Good to be here. Always a radical pleasure to be here with you, man.
Yeah, we are opening up with Shell Shocked by about Wiz Khalifa, Juicy J, Ty Dolla $ign, like 6,000 other people. I was in it. Probably Jason had a cameo in it. Killed the noise. Yeah. Madison Nick. And this is from the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because as we are learning, there have been 1,000 incarnations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at this point.
100,000. It's crazy. But I'll tell you something. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That was me right there.
That was you. All right.
That was me. Just
nice.
the one. Just the one.
That's all you need to get as a credit, right?
That's it. No, dude, I wish this were the 90s where ODB just busted in here, told all these motherfuckers they were trash, and took over.
And then be a remake by P. Diddy like 2 weeks later.
Seriously.
Oh, man. All right. So, Jason, what's up, man? How's your week been?
Yeah, week's been good. A 3-day weekend. I got to watch one of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen, which we're going to talk about tonight. What else? That's it. Like, I've just been like, watching Ninja Turtle stuff, playing old school video games. That's it. Well, I'm back at school now, so I'm asleep super early these days.
What time do you usually go to bed now? Because I know you were getting crazy there for a while.
I was, but I had to stop. So like, I'm usually in bed by like 11:30 now.
Oh darn! Okay, so now you're actually like going. That's like when I'm watching Seinfeld, laying and falling asleep.
I'm used to staying up till 2. Okay.
No, listen, man. That's remarkable, man. I gotta admit it. Like, I don't know, if I'm into something, I'll stay up that late, but I try not to like watch something I'm actually into. Then,
you know what it is? It's a psychological thing where my brain goes, "Well, I got up on time to go to work, didn't I?" And I go, "Yes, you did." And then it goes, "And then I came home and I parented, didn't I?" And I go, "Yes, you did." So then it goes, "Now you stay up till 2 and do what I say, you bitch."
Oh man. So yeah, I got to check out 2 new movies this week, which we won't be talking about much of on this show. I did see the Expendables 4.
Oh, how was that?
It was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the other Expendables? Like, do you give a shit about that whole franchise or not really?
All right. So I saw the first one.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome.
Okay.
And I think I saw parts of the second, and I liked the action a lot.
Okay. And that's what it is.
Yeah, and then I heard, then the third one got a PG-13, right?
Yeah, and that's the one I don't like.
And I was like, fuck this. Well, I'm not here for PG-13 bullshit antics. I'm here for, I don't know, doesn't Dolph Lundgren blow a guy literally to smithereens the first 5 minutes of that first Expendables?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm there for, not PG-13 bullshit.
Yeah, so listen, just the short review will be, if you're into the Expendables franchise and you know what you're signing up for, like I am, you'll have some fun with it. It's not a good movie. It's pretty. It's no. I mean, but it's not like it looks cheap at times. I'm not even going to bother criticizing the acting because, again, it is what it is. Like, the concept of the Expendables franchise, I think, is fascinating because it's like, yeah, let's get all the older 80s, 90s action stars together on the screen for the first time, and let's just blow a bunch of shit up and have like a throwback 90s testosterone fueled action movie. I mean, did I just
fun.
nail it? Did I nail it?
You did.
Right?
That is what that first one is. 100%.
And that's what the second one is too. And the third one was like, we're gonna bring in new blood, and they kind of like did that sort of in this one. And I don't know. It's not like action stars that come in. It's just random people, and Megan Fox is in the new one, and her storyline doesn't make a whole lot of like things just don't make sense. I don't know. Listen, it's a pretty bad movie, but if you know what you're signing up for, you'll have some fun with it. I had some fun with it, and then that was that, and then I moved on, and that was it.
All right.
Now, Dumb Money is awesome.
All right.
Highly recommend Dumb Money. You're familiar with it or at all? Or
no, I'm not. I was going to ask, what's Dumb Money?
So Dumb Money has a completely insane cast in the good way, and is about the whole GameStop stock thing that went down a couple of years ago.
Okay. That's fun.
So yeah, it stars Seth Rogen is in it. Nick Offerman's in it as well. Paul Dano is in it. Pete Davidson is in it. Shannon Woodley's in it. Like everyone in there. Dane DeHaan is in it, and you don't even realize it's him for like half the movie. Like everyone and their mother is in this movie. So
nice.
That actually is a wide release this Friday. I would highly recommend that. Dumb Money is really, really good. So there is that. So yeah, I actually watched other movies that are not comic book films.
If we're talking non-comic book films, I'm going to say then I did decide on my because every October, as you know, I do a theme of horror movies, and I decided on my theme last night, and I started it. I am watching mid 70s to early 80s horror movies only.
Okay.
Right. So I went obscure last night. I watched The Fog.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
By John Carpenter. That was pretty awesome. So Jamie Lee Curtis action.
Yeah.
There was a guy who looked like he just stepped out of Halloween 3.
Interesting. So you were all in then.
I was all in. I loved. That was a great movie. And then I started, and then again, like it was 11 o'clock, and I started this movie and went right to sleep. But I started Chud. Have you ever seen Chud? You've seen Chud.
I have seen. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen
Who
Chud.
am I talking to?
I have definitely seen Chud.
So I started Chud. I'm about like half an hour into Chud. So this is my thing. I'm gonna watch only 70s, 80s horror movies. Like it's got to be, God, it's got to give me the nostalgic feels.
Okay. So on the other hand, I'm getting ready to watch Saw X or 10 or whatever the fuck they're calling it. That comes out on Thursday.
Jeez, is this where the cancer becomes a character and then punishes everyone who doesn't cure it? Because isn't that what that movie's about? Like that fucking guy gets cancer and punished. Like you once cut me off at a stop sign. So now I'm gonna make you stop your life.
So apparently Jigsaw this movie takes place between 1 and 2, suppose. This is what synopsis is.
Because the plot is so convoluted to these movies.
Listen, Jason, have you seen all of them?
No, I have not seen. I've seen maybe 2 of them.
Oh my god! I have to deep dive that shit.
I can't. But I have like listened to a podcast about each and every one of them.
Okay.
I have looked like the Charlie Day meme, trying to figure out what. Like I'm obsessed with these movies. I just don't ever want to see them.
What was it when Spiral from the Book of Saw, the one with Chris Rock came out?
From the Book of Saw.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure what the hell the deal was with that, but I thought that was like the spin-off reboot, kind of like Creed to Rocky thing that was going on here, and I guess it just didn't do great. It was okay. Like I didn't love it, but it was just fun. Like I don't care. The Saw movies are what they are. I mean, I did have fun for a long time, just piecing them together and
like a jigsaw puzzle.
Exactly. And I had fun with that, and then I ended up I bought a bunch of them, like all of them basically, except for Spiral, on a Voodoo sale. So I got all of them, and I was going to start rewatching them, and then Angie didn't make it through the middle of the second one. No, but not because she hated it. It's because she doesn't do horror movies.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to get her, like, once in a while she'll buy in, but apparently this was too much.
That's torture porn. Like, you got to have a high horror threshold for torture porn.
Oh, I agree, and I still will kind of stand by the first one. I'm going to be honest. Like, the first one is, I enjoy this horror. Yeah, no, it is interesting, and I am interested in a lot of them, and yeah, eventually I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, well, how are we tying back or weaving through like 4 or 5 movies, this and that? So I may or may not. I mean, no, I'm seeing Saw X on Thursday, so no, I'm not gonna have time to rewatch the first 2. I've seen those 2 plenty of times. I think I can.
Ed, I believe you once stole a movie on DVD that was a Saw movie. Welcome to my trap.
Can you shut off the jukebox from playing Journey before this knife goes right through your skull?
Oh my god!
Oh man!
Doesn't Grogan hate that? Someone we know hates that.
I hate Journey. Right? I hate.
You hate Journey. Okay, yes. So you literally would be like, I could stop at Jigsaw. Bring it on! I fucking hate Journey. Kill me.
That's no. Grogan's thing is Hall & Oates.
That's right. Grogan's thing is Hall & Oates. That's right.
we all have our like random bands that we absolutely despise. I'm sure
it's true.
All right, let's get to some comments here before we jump into it. All right, so during the podcast, make sure you send us some stars. It's a digital gift that helps us earn money for Pop Culture Pros. So you can come on and hang out and let's talk some comic book stuff, because me and Jason can probably just go ahead and shoot the shit about movies randomly and see where it goes. We do got some comments from Alex. Alex, dude, what's up, man? And I haven't heard from you in a while.
What's going on?
Soundtrack, that song was Heat. Cowabunga. And also, I'm also in the song. I was breathing vaguely in the mic. Considered a feature. I think you are. I think all 3 of us were definitely on that one.
Yeah, because I was going, but he was like, it was crazy.
So then credit. That's it. Royalties. Let's go. Did you guys ever watch Oppenheimer? Yes, I did. I did opening weekend during Barbenheimer. I actually did Barbenheimer. It was the Saturday night and Sunday night I went, and I absolutely loved Oppenheimer. I thought it was phenomenal. If you're a Chris Nolan fan, highly recommend. It's 3 hours of intensity like that. Did you see Oppenheimer?
So no, because when the hell do I have time to see a 3-hour movie?
Fair enough.
But I really want to, because I am a huge Chris Nolan fan. Like, I've liked every movie of his I've seen.
Okay.
And I've only not seen one.
Which one was that? Besides Oppenheimer.
Besides Oppenheimer, obviously.
I like Dunkirk.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd like it. I'm just not a big war film guy, so but like I love Nolan's movies to the point where like his first movie, The Following, which I thought is, for what it is, an art movie, is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited to see this. I gotta wait for it to come on TV, and then I gotta wait for my family to go away for 3 hours or go to sleep early, whatever. Because there's Reg doesn't give a shit about that movie, and Finn's not gonna watch that. So, but I am dying to see it though.
Fair enough. Is Reg not a Saw fan?
Oh, she might like the Saw movies actually. Yeah, that's right up her alley. She likes torture porn. That's probably why I've seen some of them.
Okay. Well, and then we have a Saw comment from Alex. I feel like if Jigsaw was the teen, he'd put some in a death trap for stepping on his Jordans. Alex, I would do that.
I
would do that. There's no
Alex,
question about it.
You scuffed my Jordans. Now it's time for you to play basketball, and then you have to climb the rope. I don't know. It's high school.
But there are spikes coming out of the rope, so you have to see if you can get through before your entire insides are cut out.
But in the Saw tradition of Saw, it's a flashback with just the guy who plays Jigsaw looking as old as he is. But like in the Steve Buscemi backwards hat, like, hello, young dudes, it is I, Jigsaw, in high school.
Oh man, damn it! I would do a deep dive of Saw. All right, never mind. Doesn't matter. I am not absolutely pushing that at all. No. So if Jader hears that, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not implying it. We're not. We still have the other one that has the missing episode. So
Wait, you still haven't finished the Scream ones?
the Scream thing, just I feel like we missed the moment.
Oh wow!
We
Okay,
kind
I
of missed
thought you
the
guys
moment.
finished that.
No, the last episode, which would have been Scream and Scream 6, that's the
Okay.
lost episode. Who knows? Maybe we'll just knock it out one day during the winter. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, you know, when the next Scream movie comes out, you got like a year.
Yeah, there'll be another one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, franchise is a lot better than I gave it credit for. I'm gonna say that. It was no, because I over time I was like, yeah, this is the first one was great, and the other ones were like so. But I'm gonna be honest, I like a lot of those movies.
All right, cool.
So, all right, so let's jump into it then. We do have 2 movies since there are no current TV shows going on. We do have Gen V coming next week. The first 3 episodes drop on Thursday, but until then, we're going to continue our turtle run. So we got 2 movies. The first, an animated one that dropped in 2019. It was from the beloved, right? We can say beloved DC animated universe because I don't know anyone who doesn't like that. Whoever watches those movies is all in.
Yeah, no, they're always good.
And we actually haven't talked about that many of them. Like we talked a little Superman, right? We did a little Batman.
We did.
We haven't really synced our teeth into that franchise yet because I don't know. We always got something going on. So
true, yeah.
But
true.
this is very
once things die down with TV again because they're about to get crazy. Maybe we can then supplement the TV with one of the movies because there is some good stuff on there.
There really is. This was very much a one-off though from 2019. Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's actually not streaming anywhere. You have to kind of buy it right now, which is kind of weird. I thought either Paramount Plus or Max would have had it, being both franchises teamed up for that. And I don't know. It's probably a weird streaming rights thing.
It's got to be a weird streaming rights thing because we know, Paramount owns Turtles and Warner Brothers owns Batman. So maybe it's like, all right, well, we made this, but who's going to stream it? Well, none of us. None of us are going to get it for free. But it's weird. But I'll tell you something. It's worth the rental.
Listen, I bought it. I skipped a rental.
Nice.
And I went straight. It was only $8.
Oh,
it was $8 and it was on sale. And I got super lucky. So overall thoughts before we get into details, I fucking love this. I genuinely love this thing. It is crazy. It is well written. It is handled with a lot of care from both franchises, from Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Whichever way you're going to come into this, Jason and I both, I felt like we could say safe to say we rejuvenated our childhood love for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles during this rewatch.
For sure.
And I loved everything about it. There was connections between the 2 franchises that I didn't realize until I was watching it. We're here, and I know they've crossed over in the comics 1,000 times, so that's fine. I have admittedly not really read those.
Me neither.
And so going into this was kind of fresh. This makes me want to go and start reading them because I absolutely love this. I did not think this was 2 franchises that needed to be together, and they absolutely are. So, Jason?
Yeah, it makes sense for them to be together. Like, you wouldn't think about it because it's Ninja Turtles, right? But, like, Batman has trained with ninjas. Batman is a fucking ninja. Batman knows about the Foot Clan. Like, in this movie, he's like, I thought they were gone. But he knew who they were.
Yeah.
And so, that makes sense. The Ra's al Ghul connection. I really enjoyed this. This was not something I thought I needed. This is something I kind of was like, all right, I guess I'll watch this. It'll be fine. But man, it's fantastic. As you said, like the writing is good. There are some really cool character beats I enjoyed. It's everyone gets their moments, right? In handling the property and the franchise and the characters. Like everyone gets their moment. Batman eats pizza. I never thought I didn't know I needed to see that, but I did. I feel better as a person after seeing that. Um, but yeah, this was real fun, real imaginative, and it answers the question: what would the Joker do with mutagen?
Yes, actually, it does. This
Yeah.
thing answered a lot of things, and I guess let's talk about some of the characters first.
Mhm.
Well, you can start it off. How do you feel Batman was handled in this?
Oh, I think Batman is handled very well in this, because it's how many times do you hear it's my city? You know, like he's Batman. Like, and even when he takes the Ninja Turtles on, like, he's like, all right, well, they're assets. They know the Shredder. I don't. Very smart. And then when he's like, all right, but you do what I say. And then they don't. He wants to cut him out. And even the way that Raph gets them back in, it's like touching on, well, a family and a team. And he looks at the Bat family. Like, but it wasn't like slapping you in the face. It was the Bat family. It was actually
Yeah,
kind of subtle. But yeah, and then then also getting to see Batman's kind of fun side of him eating the pizza, him ordering the pizza, him in the Batmobile with Michelangelo, and like they're stuck, and he just goes push all the buttons.
yeah.
Like there's like so he also gets to have a little fun, which I think is really nice. And
Mhm.
yeah, like as a person who really takes offense when I feel the Batman character is being misrepresented, I do not think he was at all. I think they were really, really accurate to who he is as a character in the many incarnations that we've seen him in.
I fully agree, and I love the fact that we get the gray and blue with the yellow bat logo in it, like the
Yeah,
traditional kind of like old school Batman thing. And we get that from the Turtles too. Like everyone kind of looks like they're more traditional versions of themselves. I mean, Robin is Damian Wayne in this, so this is not
yep,
Dick Grayson or Jason Todd at all. Um, so there is that. Barbara Gordon is Batgirl in this, um, and I think yeah, I like the way the whole Bat family was handled. Even a brief thing that we get from Commissioner Gordon, and we get, of course, the scene that's talking on the roof, and him and the turtles are there, and they all disappear except Michelangelo, of course, who hangs
and
around.
what's great about that scene was Gordon said like, "Oh, of course you snuck away," and I immediately thought Michelangelo's there, and then he was, and I still laughed.
Yeah,
Like I knew what the joke was, and I still found it funny just because of him very earnestly going, "No, hey, dude, I'm still here." Like it was just like I knew he was there, but it was the earnestness with which he was presenting himself. I was like, "Oh no, that's real funny."
um, so I guess that touches on that part of it. I'm fully agree with you on all of that. I love the way Batman is handled in this. It's not goofy at all. He's very serious and has the Batman voice going on and stuff like that. We don't get a lot of Bruce Wayne like hardly at all, which is fine. I think they put a lot into this and it didn't feel overstuffed, which was a very
Agreed.
difficult thing to do. Um, the way from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side of things, I also think they were also very well represented as well. Like I wasn't in love with the artwork with the turtles. I thought they were the little
Yeah,
boxy type thing, but whatever. I forgave it pretty quickly. I was way more into the characterization of all of them. And I thought they were all, true to form and stuff like that, like Leo and well, I guess I'll hold off on that because I want to get into the way that the Bat family and the Ninja Turtles connect in this, which they're like more about those perfect marriages that I've mentioned.
yeah,
But the Turtles, from what we've seen, are very. This is more of like the Eastman Laird, or maybe like even the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run. Not really
yeah,
like our Ninja Turtles from like
yeah.
1987.
I
This is
could see
more
that,
from that.
and that's exemplified when the Shredder literally murders a guy.
Oh, there is, and yeah, there is some serious
Yeah,
violence in this, and the turtles also beat the crap out of some people also in
they
this.
do. Yes,
Like,
they do.
there's blood in this thing. So, yeah, it's definitely the darker, grittier Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which, if you're gonna put them with Batman, that makes sense. But it's not like over the top though.
No, no, and that's the thing is even compared to Batman, they're still not dark and gritty because
Huh.
they are there is fun to the Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo is comic relief, and
Mhm.
and going to how the Ninja Turtles were portrayed, I thought like their characters, their personalities were very, very defined. Like Leonardo was the leader, of course, and he has this moment with Batman, and learns how to focus and become the leader. Donatello is the tech guy, and he's working with the Bat family. Raph is kind of like the Batman of them, right? He makes that connection.
Mhm.
And he's the one who's really able to get through to Batman in that moment that we talked about before. And Michelangelo is the comic relief, and they all have their moments. They're all fun but capable, and yeah, I think they're represented really, really well as well.
Yeah, so I guess then we can get into the connections that they make. So, yeah, Batman himself really connects well with him, and Leonardo have a lot of connection to go there.
Yes.
And they get mentioned throughout this. Leonardo learns how to be a leader from Batman in this, which I thought was really interesting. And Raphael also connects with Batman as well, because you can kind of see those two together are different parts of Batman in this. Donatello
Yeah.
connects with Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, like geniusly, like the tech wizards and stuff like that and everything. And I love the running joke that when Donatello tells her about the ooze and she doesn't want to call it the ooze, it's the anti-mutagen and everything like that.
Anti-mutagen.
Yeah, I thought I did love that. And then Michelangelo has these connections with Damian Wayne that are funny because Damian Wayne's being straight arrow on being trained by my father and stuff like that. And Michelangelo's starting to loosen up. And Damien is annoyed by the turtles.
Yes,
being
which
the
I find
teenager.
hysterical.
Exactly. And meanwhile, like in other incarnations, like Damian Wayne is the one who a lot of some fans will find annoying, but yet he finds the turtles off-putting.
Yeah.
And Alfred and Michelangelo. Hilarious.
So funny.
Yeah.
At the end, he's like, "Oh, Alfred, dude, I give you my my skateboard as an apology," and Alfred's like, "It's what I've always wanted."
There's a scene
really
in there
funny.
earlier where Michelangelo is riding his skateboard around Wayne Manor, and Alfred grabs him and is dragging him by like Master Michelangelo.
So good.
And he refers to him as like Master Alfred. He's like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it's not how that works. Yeah, it's so funny watching them two together. And then there's the scene, of course, where they order the pizza and Alfred pays for it. He's like, "I offer to cook a gourmet meal and they ask for pizza."
That was hilarious. Even like the pizza guy is like asking Alfred, like, "Are you really gonna knock this all off?"
Yeah,
It's just like, yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, there's a lot of that, and like I said, the back to the Leonardo Batman thing. There's this scene, which before we get into that part of it though, the scene with Leonardo, Batman, and Scarecrow is great.
Oh, it's so good.
Great.
I mean, yeah. Before we get into that scene, let's just set up what happens. Why this Scarecrow is what he is,
Mhm.
because pretty much what I said about the mutant and the Joker is true. We find out what he would do with it. He would just turn everyone in Arkham Asylum into a mutant, and one of the mutants is the Scarecrow, who is a giant fucking crow. And I like this movie so much, I'm not even gonna nitpick about the science of the ooze, because it's supposed to be the last animal you touched, and this kind of just brings out whatever you're dressed as. But you know what? I don't care, because the Scarecrow as a giant fucking crow was awesome, and the scene you're about to talk about was phenomenal.
Yeah, so there's a scene in this which just the short version is, before we get into like the whole plot, takes place in Arkham Asylum, and they run into the Scarecrow. Scarecrow is mutated at that point, and an actual Scarecrow, and hits Leonardo with the fear toxin. And Batman's telling him about it. He has these visions of the turtles being dead, like his three brothers being dead, and him failing them. And that's brutal. His biggest fear. It is brutal because they really go into it like they're like skeletons dying.
Yeah.
Like the visuals are all there. And that's Leonardo's deepest fear, apparently, which I thought said a lot about him as a character. And it's explored in an interesting way. And then Batman's trying to like talk him down through it, and he eventually gives him the antidote and whatnot. But
And that's a great scene when you just hear like you see Leonardo and you see the turtles, and he's Batman in that moment, right? That's Batman's biggest fear is that he's gonna lose the people he loves, like he lost his parents, right? Yeah. And so like Leonardo's there and the Scarecrow's fluttering around and Batman just goes, "Follow my voice." And he looks over and he sees Batman as the Scarecrow and he starts attacking him. And Batman, cool as a fucking cucumber, hands behind his back, just dodging like this. And you just hear him go, "I don't know what you're seeing, but it's not real. Focus." And it was just such an awesome moment between these two. And then Leonardo does focus just enough to like video game style hit the Scarecrow as he's coming at him and knock him out. And then the Batman gives him the antidote. But that is a wonderful scene in this movie.
Yeah, so the overall, I guess the story goes is that apparently there were Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. I know it's pronounced differently in different walks. It seems like it changes all the time. But this one it is Ra's. So Ra's al Ghul, yeah, exactly. He hires Shredder to go ahead and to track down this thing in Gotham, and they're trying to go ahead and get the whatever it is. It's basically to spread a concoction of Joker's, you want to say Smilex or his gas, along with the mutagen together, right? And Shredder and in exchange, Ra's is going to give him, Ra's is going to give him the Lazarus Pit because it'll give Shredder, make him immortal. And that's pretty much how that whole partnership starts. And Ra's al Ghul and Shredder being together is perfect. Like you had mentioned, like the ninja clans and things like that. Batman mentions as he's heard of the Foot and everything, but he thought they were long gone. So they do interweave, perfectly in here. And Penguin is sent to go ahead and to get it from Wayne Tech at first. So Penguin gets dropped in there. Then there's the whole line in Arkham Asylum, because that's where the story takes it. In Arkham Asylum, we get Mr. Freeze, we get Bane, we get Poison Ivy, Scarecrow,
Harley,
of course, which is voiced by Tara Strong, which is pretty awesome. That she's in this as well. And then obviously we get Joker. And, the whole team goes ahead and fights them throughout Arkham Asylum. That's really cool. But it's mutated versions of these characters.
It's so cool. Joker's a snake. Harley is, of course, a hyena.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great moment, by the way, where Harley and Joker are making out as their animal components. Yeah. And I literally saw that and went, ew. And seconds later, Donatello went, ew. And I was like, yeah, you guys know. This is disgusting.
Mr. Freeze is a polar bear.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome. And Bane was what, a jaguar or a cheetah?
Yeah, he was some sort of like big, like cat-like thing. I mean, I'm not sure what exactly that was, but I mean, Bane's already freaking huge anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, he didn't even really need to get mutated.
I have to admit though, like, because like the old rule was it's the last animal you touched, right? So Harley, of course, makes sense. She would have been a hyena. Mr. Freeze, sure, polar bear. Yeah, that would be the last animal he touched. I've seen that happen. When Bane becomes a cheetah, I'm like, wait a minute, is he having an affair with Cheetah from Wonder Woman? Like, is that the last animal he touched?
Maybe. That makes sense. Works for me.
Oh, and I love Bane is humiliated. I love it because I fucking hate that whole storyline of Bane breaking the bat. I've read it. It's bullshit. Don't get me started. But when he takes Donatello, he goes, I broke the bat. And he cracks him on his leg and he busts his knee. And Donatello's like, well, there you go. 1,000 years of evolution.
Yeah, there's a lot of the turtles actually being turtles. They jump in their shell at different times to survive and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool because we don't really see a lot of that.
No, and it works too because they are turtles. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
let them play that up.
And also, them being turtles comes into play where they find the Batcave because they pretty much track down. Donatello puts this whole detective thing together, sightings of Batman and whatnot, and then they end up swimming through the sewers and stuff in Gotham and finding the Batcave. So that also comes in handy there as well.
Yes. Which of course leads to one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite lines is after Batman is injured and they get his mask off, and Michelangelo's, "Yo, dudes, Bruce Wayne is Batman?" And Donatello Leonardo go, You do know that the Batcave is under Wayne Manor, right?" like they all knew this, and Mikey's just putting it together.
It's hilarious. And then I mean, there's pretty much the fight ends up taking it to like the turtles end up saving Batman, because he ends up getting injected by the Joker as well. He turns into a fucking human bat, which even by the same thing you can say, all right, whatever, he touched a bat last or not. I mean, whatever.
At that point, the rules are out the window.
He whatever you could say, he more or less turns into Man Bat, and
pretty much,
yeah, and he goes crazy and stuff like that. They got to talk him down and stuff, and then they end up turning him back, and then they have their little meeting at the Batcave that you had mentioned, family and stuff like that. So they end up teaming up. So the turtles go ahead and bust out their turtle van next to the Batmobile. The fact that they both rode side by side together with that, Michelangelo and Batman in the Batmobile, because he saw the Batmobile and fell in love with it immediately, and was like he had to sit in there, and then everyone else was in the van.
I love it. He goes, "I call the Batmobile. Well, Mikey, we took our own wheels here. You guys drove here? Yeah, we didn't drive all the way from New York City here. We didn't walk all the way here. We brought this, and it's the turtle van. Mikey, yeah, I still call the Batmobile." Like, like I think Mikey might be my favorite in this one because he's just so funny.
He is. He's really, really good. But then they go ahead and ride off to Axis Chemicals, where, of course, that's like the big showdown that goes down there as well. I'm sorry, earlier, too, there was a huge fight. A fight that I didn't think I needed either, but now I'm glad I have it, between Batman versus Shredder.
That's awesome.
How awesome was that?
That was awesome, and it's very Batman, right? Because they have two fights. In the first one, Batman loses, but takes in all that information for prep time. That's what I was thinking. Like, because Shredder pulls out this move that I didn't know he could do. Maybe it's a comic book thing, where it's a foot thing, where he focuses all of his energy in one point. And they say that, like, if done wrong, it could also hurt him. And him and Splinter, the only two people in the world who know how to do it. And then, like, Batman gets hurt by that, but like when Batman fights him the second time, like I thought Batman was gonna like turn it against him, but he winds up using the Ninja Turtles to sort of distract him and then beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, and it also in the second round mentions Cowabunga as like Batman says that as the code word because they had to come up with something that Batman would never normally say.
Yeah, I love that. And Alfred's like, he really said Cowabunga?
So during that battle, though, Shredder is knocked into a vat of Axis Chemicals and is not seen for quite a bit. And we'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
So the whole battle takes place, essentially Day is saved. Turtles are there. They end up having some pizza in the Batcave at the end. That's where Batman allows Damian to have a slice of pizza and also has a slice himself. Everything is all good. Then during the credits, they show all the covers of the times that the Turtles and Batman have crossed over throughout the years, which I thought was really fucking cool.
That was cool.
I was all about that, and I'm like, I'm staring at that during the credits. Then I'm like, oh shit, there's a post-credit scene, isn't there? That's why this is happening. And the post-credit scene is Shredder's hand popping up out of the Axis Chemicals, and he basically is Joker Shredder.
I want to see that so bad. Give me Joker Shredder.
Where is the follow-up to this thing, damn it?
Seriously, like we're about to talk about the live action one,
Mhm.
And like, as you said, it's serviceable, but like, I don't know, man. When this exists, why would I want to watch other things? Like, I don't know. They're just killing it in the cartoon world in a way that they've never killed it in the live action world.
I agree, and but well, I would say I wouldn't say that because there are times where DC has crushed it in live action plenty of times.
Yeah,
Even though some fans will conveniently forget that when it's convenient for them, but they do. But the DC animated universe is phenomenal. It's rarely ever misses.
yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I've watched a lot since we started this show, and you're right. It rarely ever misses. I
So
think the only miss that I haven't seen yet, but you and even Mike, the Barris said, is Ninja Batman, right?
Batman Ninja's horrible.
Yeah,
Now
that's the one I've heard is that's the only one I've heard is bad.
it's a full on anime. If that's your jam, maybe you like it. I fucking hated it. So yeah, that's the only one I genuinely hated out of the animated DC universe. So but that's a one off like this. This is like a one off,
Yeah.
which I hope is not a one off. You set up a sequel. We better get the damn sequel.
Yeah, I mean, look, give me Joker Shredder, give me Mutagen with other Batman villains. I want to see what the ventriloquist turns into. I want to see.
Come on, Clayface, whatever. We can keep going. Killer Croc.
Clayface would be wild.
Well, Killer Croc already is. He can just kind of be there.
Actually, it would be awesome if Killer Croc just turned into a regular person.
That was the sensation.
Because the last animal he touched was a human being, because to him, we're animals.
That's true. That's true. So anything else on this before we jump to the live action?
No, this was just a lot of fun. We didn't mention Two-Face becomes a two-faced cat, which I thought was hysterical.
That's right. Yes. He ends up literally growing into like two different heads.
Yeah. Right. So I just wanted to mention that because I think for me, the two best things about this, right? Two best things. And there are lots of great things, but my two favorite things is one, Arkham inmates as mutants was phenomenal. I never knew I needed that, but obviously it did, and I want more. And the second, it doesn't forget that Harley's a fucking doctor. And you know that I love that. She has when Joker goes, "Nurse Harley, come out," and she's like, "Nurse, 8 years in medical school, or 8 years for my degree and a residency, and he's gonna call me nurse." Like, love it. I love when Harley gets to be a doctor.
Yeah, and it's not even like a ding, but I guess the only thing that was noticeable to me, and meanwhile, again, we just listed all the characters from both sides that are in this. Oh, Baxter Stockman is in this, by the way.
Oh, yeah. How do we forget about Baxter Stockman, who Damian has a hysterical, like, sort of go around with at the end?
Yeah, they have this conversation, and this is running gag in this that basically Baxter works for the foot and has never been paid, so he's technically a hostage.
Right. And I love that, like, it's not our Baxter Stockman. He's like a very, like, cool, like, I don't fight, I'm a doctor. I'm a hostage, maybe. I don't know. Like, I haven't been paid. Well, that's one in the hostage column. That was fun. I love when, like, Damian is watching everyone get to kick the shit out of, like, mutants, and he's like, "I got one," and he goes over to Baxter Stockman. He's like, "I don't want to fight. I give up, man. I'm a hostage, I think."
Yeah. Some of the characters you won't find in this, though. Nightwing is absent in this. I mean, Tim and Batwoman are the only Bat family that are not in this. Splinter is actually not in this either. Right. And there's no April O'Neil or Casey Jones in this, so there is that. But I don't think they were missed at all. It was just there was so much going on in this. Yeah. That may have been overstuffed where you may have put in too much. So maybe for the sequel, you can find a way to work them in.
Yeah, for the sequel, like, honestly, if that's what we want from the sequel, then Batman has to go to New York and work with the Ninja Turtles on something. And
that totally is the way it would go.
Yeah, it's Batman and, like, maybe Batgirl, because I thought Rachel Bloom as Batgirl was great. I thought Batgirl really worked well with Donatello, and Yeah, and they're working with the turtles, and he meets Splinter, and they have a nice sensei. Like maybe they spar, and then yeah, April helps them somehow because she's got the media, and maybe that's how maybe like Bruce Wayne meets her. Yeah, there's a ton of ways to do that.
Yeah. So that's what I would like to see from the sequel. Turtles. I mean, Batman goes to New York City, and then they go from there. Solve whatever the hell's going on, and you still got to deal with Joker, Shredder.
Right, and maybe that's why it is. Maybe Shredder goes back, and they have to call Batman because it's like, well, wait a minute. Now this guy's acting. We're used to our Shredder. Now he's acting like your guy. Come over here and help us.
Oh, there's also a scene early in this where Batman is drinking out of a Superman mug.
Oh, I missed that.
He's in the Batcave. Apparently, he's drinking out of a Superman mug.
That's funny.
So
I
that was
missed
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah, and I guess
What about Michelangelo on the dinosaur? Like, Mikey, get down from there. Nah, man, I live here now.
I also, maybe I could see that where Batman goes to New York with, Batgirl or maybe Nightwing, and then there's something where maybe they get Krang involved somehow, and Joker, Shredder, and stuff like that. Maybe we can throw in some other, again, Casey Jones, April O'Neil. You can kind of bring in more turtle stuff.
Yeah,
Splinter.
Bring Rat King in. I mean, go crazy.
Yeah, why not? Kind of like this, where you just went crazy, but you can lean more on the turtle side.
Exactly.
Let's go. Come on. You two, Nickelodeon, Warner Brothers, get your shit together. Let's go.
Yeah. Whoever greenlights this shit, just greenlight it already. All right. You've greenlit already 20 things today that's gonna not make money. Greenlight this for us. Come on.
Yeah. I can't believe this came out in 2019. I remember when this came out, and I was like, wow, that sounds crazy. And I wanted to get around to it and never got a chance to. I'm so happy I did.
And this is crazy. I never heard of this until you told me about it. And I was watching this going, this is insane in all the right ways.
All right, so that brings us to our theatrical release then, as we've been going through the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theatrical run. This is the 4th live-action movie. It was the reboot produced by Michael Bay, which was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. I guess overall thoughts, Jason. I started the last one. You can start this one off. What were your overall thoughts on this?
So, I don't like this movie, but I don't hate it. Like, I'm not sitting here going "fuck you" movie. It's not like Transformers. It's like we were texting about it, and you had the perfect word for it. This is a serviceable turtle movie. It does what it has to do. But I think overall, for my taste, it's kind of dumb. I hate with a capital H that, and I'm not even gonna blame this movie because this was a trend at the time, but like everything's got to be connected. These turtles, they're not just turtles, they're April O'Neil's turtles from when she was a kid, and she named them, and she had Splinter. And do you know what? The whole reason they like pizza is because she fed them pizza as turtles when she was a kid. It's like, come on, man. You know why I like pizza? Because it's fucking awesome. No one had to feed it to me as a turtle kid. I mean, and it's shit like that I find real stupid. But again, like, I don't hate this movie. It's just, as I was saying before, with all of like the options of turtle movies to watch, like I would never go, I'm in the mood for a turtle movie. Let me turn on the 2014 live action Ninja Turtles movie. Not because I hate it, just because there are better options. And that's my feeling.
All right. I enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna be honest. I actually did. And I said it was a serviceable turtle movie. The 1991 is still my favorite. This, I think, I will preface this with the bar being low. This is the second best live action turtle movie, at least up until this point. I
agree.
I don't remember much about Out of the Shadows, so I can reevaluate that next week. But at this point, I had a good time with this. I'm going to be honest. I did. My ding against this movie was, you just mentioned it, was the forced connection between the turtles, Splinter and April and the pizza thing, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. And it was kind of I was thinking about it for the second ever since that part happened. I was actually thinking about that for the rest of the movie, and I was trying not to. I was trying to obviously focus on what was going on, and I didn't know how I felt about it. But to me, it's a very forced connection, like Joker, like Jack Napier, and freaking Bruce Wayne in '89 Tim Burton Batman. I mean, you know how I felt about that. Like,
yeah, but
I think it's unnecessary.
I would argue it's even worse. It would be like if Jack Napier killed the Joker, killed Bruce Wayne's family, and then went, "Hey kid, do you like bats? Take this bat thing now. Hey, I'm gonna dub you Batman." Like that's how how badly that read to me. It was like it's not just that she owned them, it's that she named them and fed them pizza, and she is the whole reason that because there was no other animals to test this mutagen on except for this kid's fucking pet turtles. Like it was just so jammed down your throat forced. Sorry, I completely derailed your thing, but
no, that's fine. That I don't disagree with that. I think that's my only ding against this movie because otherwise, we always start by talking about each incarnation of the turtles themselves. I actually like the way the turtles are characterized in this movie. I like Leonardo. He seems to fit what Leonardo's supposed to be. I like him. Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo. Like all the turtles are characterized fine. Even in a poster behind us, Donatello. I really like the Donatello apparently with the glasses and the fucking.
I do like that look.
I dig that whole thing. He's got like his whole tech thing going. I like when the turtles are differentiated. Like even here, you can see above me, Raphael has like the bandana thing, kind of like how the current turtles are. Leonardo has this kind of like ninja thing going on his chest. I like that as well. Michelangelo has kind of like beads and stuff, kind of like surfer dude type of thing. So I actually like the design of the turtles in this movie. I remember not loving it, but as I was watching it, I'm kind of like, yeah, they're bigger, they're stronger, they should be. They're like, they when they're fighting people, they're really fucking hurting them. Like these people go flying and stuff, which is kind of like what I would expect the turtles to be, and that's how I felt like the turtles were in the Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like they were just larger than humans, and I kind of was digging that part of it. And yeah, like the turtles were fine in this. I like that. There wasn't anything, really dumb about their interactions and stuff like that. How did you feel about the characterization of the turtles before we get to Splinter?
So I liked the characterization of the turtles. I thought Leonardo and Donatello and Michelangelo done really well. I thought Raphael was done really well, but I'm realizing I just don't like Raphael. I just as a character. I actually did like the scene where they're trying to he's trying to scare April by doing the Batman voice, and Leo's like, "Come on, fuck this, no, we're not gonna hurt you, just erase that." Like I do actually like the characterization of the turtles. I'm with you. I actually didn't like the way they looked at first. I didn't mind it. This time around, I didn't think it was that bad. I think I just had a vision of turtles in my head when I first saw this. So yeah, I'm with you about that. I got to admit though, I don't really love Splinter.
That's what I was gonna say. We should get to next. Yeah.
Yeah. I think his look is weird. I again, like we've got like a whole. I didn't know what else to do to stay safe, so I taught myself ninjutsu, which was a problem I had with the Splinter in the newer one. And also I just thought I don't know, it was weird. Like his discipline of them was weird. Like I thought like in the second one when he's like do the backflips or whatever, it's kind of funny. But in this, he's like, okay, you all have talk about Saw, right? Okay, you have gone outside and I am Master Splinter, and now you all have 4 different challenges to get. Like, and then you have that weird 100 cheese pizza from Pizza Hut, you're lucky if you get one cheese on Pizza Hut, my friend.
I was actually going to mention that part. I'm glad you got there because I was going to say it around Splinter. My second ding on this movie, and yes, I understand why it's here. I'm not, it's not lost on me, is these Ninja Turtles in New York City would not go to fucking Pizza Hut. They would be going to they would know every fucking pizza spot. We're in New York City.
You're right.
Like they would probably have a vast array. They would have a telephone book of every pizza spot in New York City. That's what I always imagined the Turtles would have. But yes, they go to Pizza Hut in this because you were going to go ahead and sell it and stuff. I understand.
And whatever. I mean, they go to Domino's in the original, so I'm not.
Yeah, so it was just a weird thing that stuck out to me more this time.
I'm not bitching about the fact that Pizza Hut was there. I expect them to shill garbage pizza in these movies because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ninja Turtles did sell us Elio's pizza, the worst of the frozen pizza.
This is true.
But my thing was just 100 cheese pizza, this gourmet 100 cheese pizza from fucking Pizza Hut. Get the fuck out of here. That makes no sense.
Yeah, but again, I wrote that off as fucking movie.
But
I know what you're saying, though.
If you just go, I bought pizza. It's pizza. Smell this pizza. Ooh, it's got pepperoni. And he breaks. I'm like, all right, yeah, all right. You can get pepperoni pizza from there. And you know what? I'm not going to shit on it. I sometimes will order Pizza Hut because I'm not in the mood for real pizza. I'm in the mood for like fake pizza. But like the fact that it was this whole impossible pizza from Pizza Hut, for me as a New Yorker, that destroys the reality. Because you're not getting a slice to match dollar slice in New York City from Pizza Hut. Get out of here. You're getting this 100 fucking fromage shit. Get out of here. No.
Fair enough. But yeah, the design of Splinter, I was like so with. Hey, we've seen worse.
Yeah, we have.
We saw Chuck E. Cheese Splinter in Ninja Turtles 3, so hey, it could be much worse. So
that's the thing. Notice the only real negative thing I've said about this movie is I just didn't really like it much. Like everything good you're saying about it, I agree. We've seen worse. This is in fact the second best live action Ninja Turtle movie to date of 2014.
Yeah. And I guess that naturally will bring us to Megan Fox as April O'Neil.
Ooh, wait. Ooh, my pants are tighter just thinking about that hot chick. Sorry to yell.
Listen, and now this is the second movie this week that I've watched with Megan Fox in it. Apparently with Expendables. So she is significantly better in this movie than she is in Expendables 4. No, I tell you the truth though, I actually liked Megan Fox as April O'Neil in this movie. It was fine. I mean,
she was fine.
Yeah, she was fine. She did what she had to do. I kind of dig the whole yellow leather jacket that she's rocking. Because April's got to always have like the yellow coat, and they kind of blended it in where it wouldn't look awkward that she's running around with like a jumpsuit or some weird shit like a rain jacket or something. It made sense. And I guess because Michael Bay only produced these movies, she isn't like, they don't beat you senseless over your head, like over sexualizing fucking Megan Fox. Like, hey, listen, whatever. She's a really attractive woman. It is what it is. And there's only the one scene that is with Vern where she's leaning out the car window to go do something, and it's like her ass is like right there. And he makes a quick joke about something, but hey, in the Bayformers, the two Bayformers films she was in, she gets off real easy in this one.
She's not shot like she's about to do a porno movie. So yes, you're right. She gets off easy with just the one ass shot of Vern and just Michelangelo, talking about getting a stiffy for her. Yeah, she gets off very easily.
Pretty easily. Those are the only two things there. Like I said, you clocked that one. This one was pretty obvious. It was also Vern who, whatever. He has like the romantic interest with her, which I'm going to argue
doesn't need to be in the movie. He doesn't like. I love Will Arnett. He does not need to be in this movie at all.
I'm going to tell you the truth, though. I actually like Will Arnett in this movie. I like Will
Okay,
Arnett in
that's
anything
fair.
he's in, but I thought he was kind of funny at times and stuff, especially like
He's
his
fine.
comedic thing is pretty much when April has to tell somebody, and we'll get into the other person who I totally forgot was in this movie, by the way. Their boss, which I
Oh yeah,
had no
yeah, that's
recollection
right.
whatsoever she was in this.
I
But
forgot about that too.
my favorite moments with Vern is with the turtles when she's like, "Hey, this is gonna sound crazy, but let me tell you about these fucking talking turtles and stuff like that," because she's just discovering them, and he's just like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then all of a sudden, Raphael pops up out of the van. He's just like,
That was fun.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
you're
kind
a
of what he's there
talking
for.
turtle. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's fine, and I always like Will Arnett, so I mean, I think his character's fine. So Whoopi Goldberg is their boss. I had no fucking idea it was in this movie.
I forgot the Whoopster was in this. I was like, I did a double take. I'm like, wow, Whoopi Goldberg's in this. How did I not remember that?
Yeah, she doesn't really need to be in this movie, but whatever.
Oh no, she does not.
No, she really doesn't serve a purpose in this at all. But hey, whatever. And I guess that will bring us to the villains. So Shredder, fairly one note in this film.
Yeah.
I mean, the Shredder voice is intimidating. The crazy tech suit this time around with the retractable blades and all of this other stuff. It worked for me. I mean, I thought it was fine. I mean, it's not the traditional Shredder suit, but hey, you updated it a little bit. I was cool with that. The Foot Clan, fine. Sax, he was fine with it. I mean, there had to be a reason behind, like, TGRI and everything, so he was there.
You had to know the connection between who the Turtles' godfather was, who performed the bris, and that was this guy.
Yeah, just the unnecessary. That's the biggest dig in this movie. I don't disagree with you. I don't at all.
It
just didn't fucking need to be there.
That's the thing, Ed. I think you and I feel the exact same way about this movie, except you're a bit more forgiving than me. I think that's it, because I have disagreed with nothing you have said, and you have disagreed with nothing I have said.
That is true, actually. But we are agreeing on this movie. I guess maybe it's because I went into this more guarded, expecting not to like it. Because the first time around, I thought it was like, I was like, yeah, that was all right. But I apparently didn't remember shit about the movie. Because when I was watching this was almost all brand new to me.
Same. And I remember disliking this movie, like disliking this movie. And then I rewatched it, and I was like, again, all new to me. I'm like, Will Arnett's in this? Whoopi Goldberg's in this? There were 4 turtles? What? I didn't remember shit.
And I was kind of expecting, like, a terrible performance, from Megan Fox. And I think she's fine in this movie. Like,
yeah, she is. She's absolutely fine. She's better in this than she is Transformers.
Yeah. Well, another director, not Michael Bay, Michael Bay was at a distance this time. So it's okay.
That's
right. And I mean, I guess that's really, there's no characters I'm leaving out. And the story is pretty basic.
It's the Foot Clan trying to get, the Shredder is trying to get this mutagen to work with the Foot Clan, and then Sax, is that the guy's name? He's helping him. And you find out, of course, like, April, you walked in on me just like your father did before I killed him. You get one of those.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. This is a boilerplate, movie like this. You know what I mean? Like, it hits all the beats. Like, and again, it's like it could get worse.
No, it certainly can, and we've seen the Turtles get worse.
Yeah,
and I think maybe too it's because in our beloved original live action Ninja Turtles, we saw that only one of 3 was legit. The other 2 were awful. And we're not holding it up to that impossible standard that maybe when we first both watched this, we were kind of had in the back of our minds.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe that's what it is.
And I'll give this movie something. hour and 40 minutes, buddy. Hour and 40 minutes. This I was afraid because it has the Michael Bay stank on it. I was like, oh my god, those like when we finished with Transformers 7, like it was 3 days it took us to watch that one, right? They just kept getting longer. But when I saw that this was a beautiful hour 40, which is all a Ninja Turtle movie ever needs to be,
Yeah.
mwah.
So I think this is a prime example of why you rewatch movies and why we do it before we come on here to talk about
100%.
them. Because you could be in a different mindset. We've been in this Ninja Turtles rabbit hole for over a month now. We've compared other versions of the Turtles to this, and we don't have this like nostalgic, my Ninja Turtles are the 1990 Ninja Turtles, and fuck everything else that's not that.
Yeah.
We went in with a fair thing, and this movie is fine. I would recommend it if you're caught Mutant Mayhem and you're kind of like catching turtle fever, like go for it. If you didn't watch this, I would recommend this.
Yeah, I'm with Ed. If you're catching turtle fever and you just saw Mutant Mayhem, don't let this be the first you watch.
Agreed.
Go. What I would suggest, if you are our age, let the first one you watch be the one that the crossover with the '90s Ninja Turtles, because that was my favorite of this so far. And then I would say, yeah, go for maybe the original live action, and then maybe this one, right? Like, or actually no, then Batman versus Ninja Turtles, and then this one. So put this fourth on the list, I would say.
Yeah, we can rank all these things after next week, because next week's our last Turtles movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and it's Out of the Shadows, right?
It is Out of the Shadows, the sequel to this.
Which look again, I remember I saw that movie. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to have egg on my face if I rewatch this movie and hate it. But I really think it's going to be my favorite of the live action ones, because I remember it just goes balls to the wall nostalgia. It gives us everything I've ever wanted.
Okay, and oh, by the way, they also get the turtle van at the end of this movie, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes, that's right, we do. Which it actually, I thought it looked cool. I like it.
I liked it too. I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. We can rank all these things next week when we wrap this thing up. But watch out though, because remember when you said Secret of the Ooze, you had a special place for Secret of the Ooze, and when you rewatch that, you ate your words.
Here's the thing: I still have a nostalgic place for Secret of the Ooze. I just didn't remember that Vanilla Ice was in 30 minutes of the movie. That's all.
You didn't remember that half of the movie was a real estate thing where the turtles were looking for someone to fucking live.
I did not know.
As kids, there's no way we knew that. Yeah, exactly. No. Nobody had any idea that was going on. Not even the writers of the film. So, all right. So that does it for us this week. Thanks for joining us as always. What's up?
We're not done yet, Ed.
Oh, we're not.
We're not
shit!
Yet.
Yes, we are not done yet. That is correct, actually. Good catch.
I got it popped up here.
Okay. So
let's see. How do I do this? Present.
Hit present.
Share screen.
So there's this really weird thing that I will give kudos to my friend Danny, who is our friend Jerry's cousin, who goes at. Let me go ahead and I'll add this here. So you may have heard he had brought this to my attention again. And I think it was me and him were at a Yankees game, and we were talking about Granny's peach tea. And there was a weird time where the.
Do you sometimes wish that April was a turtle?
So no, sorry, that was my fault. Go ahead.
So, yeah, the Turtles did a live action music tour, and I saw them in Radio City Music Hall as a kid, because I would say I was like bonkers for Turtles and stuff. And my father took me to see it. And of course, I thought it was like the coolest thing ever at the time. But then there's this, which apparently on YouTube is the single most uncomfortable moment in TMNT. And we'll let you decide. You can click on the box there, Jason, on the other side to make it go full screen.
Which one? Which one is the box?
Look at Oprah, bottom right. There we go.
Okay, cool. All right, so here it is.
Guys, let me ask you this. Do you sometimes wish that April was a turtle?
Whoa, definitely.
Conceptually, that works for me.
You know, I've been trying to... Where you going? Oprah.
Man, I cracked myself up.
Oprah, I've been trying to talk her into an interspecies relationships for months now.
Whoa, chill, man.
And she won't do it.
She
Huh?
can't hold her breath.
No, she can't do it.
The biggest problem is she can't hold her breath long enough, you know?
Well, okay, coming up, the Turtles are going to perform their hit. Did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that
10
the
seconds,
one
please.
thing, the one thing about the Turtles, being a reporter, it's hard for me not to analyze. And the good thing about these guys.
What on earth, Jason? What was that? What the hell was that?
I don't know, but I never don't laugh at how horrified those poor kids look. And it's terrible for me to laugh because we're literally watching children get traumatized, and that's not funny. But goddamn, is that video funny?
That video's fucking hilarious, and I kind of feel like that was my face when I watched this.
No, me too. When you sent this to me, I was like on the subway or whatever, and I just get off the subway and I was watching it, and I was like, okay, what?
What?
I've been trying to talk her into an interspecies relationship. Her problem is she can't hold her breath.
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like that was the person who was Raphael, just constantly hitting on the actress that was playing April O'Neil, and this was his weird sense of humor about it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I do want to note that the actress who and the reason I let it go is because the actress who plays April O'Neil really tries to save that. She's like,
Yeah.
well, I just want to tell you guys. And then, of course, YouTube shuts that shit off because no one cares. But she really tries to get that ship righted.
Man, that's awkward. That's so bizarre.
Oh, and then Oprah makes it worse. Oprah's like, oh, she's not into that? Like, Oprah.
Yeah, she actually followed up on it.
Right.
I just feel like there's more to this story than we know about.
There's gotta be. I mean, I don't know. Look, if anyone knows anything about this, please bring it to our attention.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to look into this a little bit and before next week's show, before our last Turtle show, and find out if I can find anything on this.
We gotta know, man. Ooh, I wonder if we could get those, if they're still alive, and we could pull them out of their drug den that they're in. If we can get those 4 turtles back, and they can talk about their interspecies relationships on our show.
Oh yes, listen. If the people who are playing the turtles and singing with the turtles at that point, if they're still around, you're more than welcome. You guys, David Hasselhoff, still. That's an open invitation. Whoever, bring it.
Bring it. David Hasselhoff versus the Ninja Turtles. Bang! I want that movie.
Well, all right. So this time that is it for us this week. Thanks for joining us as always. If you joined us on the Facebook live stream, be sure to check out Granny Speech Tea's Facebook group, where we have a bunch of stories and stuff. And might be a story up there. If I find anything about this damn weird story that's going on here between these singing Ninja Turtles and the April O'Neil situation, check out Pop Culture Pros and popculturepros.com, because that's who we are presented by. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to Pop Culture Pros on X. Subscribe to Pop Culture Pros and Instagram, and wherever you found your audio-only podcast, subscribe there as well. We'll be back next week. We'll be talking about the first 3 episodes of Gen V, because that premieres this week on Amazon Prime Video. So check that out and come check us out. We'll talk all about it in our spoilery goodness. And we have our last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, which was the sequel to the film we discussed tonight. So check us out then. All right. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.